Hi guys, how's it going? So today we're going to talk about hoses. This is actually something we get asked a lot. We get all kinds of messages and comments from you guys wanting to know what hoses we use around our property. And my favorite has changed a couple times over the years just based on where I'm using it. So I thought today I would go over different diameters of hoses and strengths or weights of hoses and kind of just explain that because it's something that I didn't understand for a lot of years. And based on what hose you have, your gardening chores can either be really easy or a huge pain. So I'm hoping this video is helpful. I'm only really familiar with Gilmore hoses because my parents have been carrying them down at the garden center forever, and it's what I've used at my old house and in this garden. So I did ask Gilmore if they wanted to send out a few hoses so we could do this video, and they did, and they also are giving away 5 to you guys. So we'll talk about the giveaway later on in the video, but I want to get started in on the actual hoses. So I do have several hoses I want to show you, but I think that this right here is the best visual because all 3 of these are in the heavy duty line and they're all 75 feet in length, but you can see how different the sizes are, and it's all based on the diameter. And diameter kind of indicates what the water flow is going to be out of your hose. So the smaller the diameter, the less water flow, bigger, more water flow. So right here we've got the 1/2 inch size, the smallest of the 3. Definitely the lightest of the 3. We've got 5/8 inch right here, which is my preferred size in all hoses, and it's the most common that you'll find. And then the 3/4 inch, this one is a beast. So you get a lot of water out of this one, but you can definitely tell that this one is going to be the heaviest out of all 3. When you're considering what hose, I think it depends on what you're using it for. If you're in a smaller size city lot or you just have a regular size garden, 1/2 inch might be plenty because usually you have enough flow for like a hose end sprayer or a water wand or something like that, and they are a lot lighter. 5/8, I just tend to like this because the water does flow out a little bit faster. You get a little bit more water at a time, so it makes my watering chores a little bit faster. But this one right here, like if you're filling up buckets or troughs or something like that, definitely go with something with a bigger diameter because you'll have so much more water flow. Your job will go a lot quicker. But I do like the 5/8 inch out of these 3 the best. There are a couple of other things you want to consider. The first is your hose length. So like I said, all of these are 75 feet. They come in usually like 25, 50, 75, or 100-foot lengths. You want to make sure when you pick a hose it's going to reach where you need it to. But you don't really want to get a hose that's longer than you need it to be because that's just going to add extra bulk when you're trying to store it, and it's a lot heavier when it's too long. So just like kind of maybe step off and get a rough idea of what your area is and how long your hose needs to be before you decide what hose. And the other thing is, so like all of these 3 are heavy duty. There's also medium duty, which I have down below me, and super duty. Let me grab those. So these are the other 2 hoses I wanted to show you up against the heavy duty, which we've already talked about. These represent 3 different strengths of hose, and it really depends on where you're using it as to what strength you need. And there are others too on other ends of the spectrum. Like on this side there are lighter duty hoses, and then on this side there are professional duty that are good for like my parents' garden center where they have to pull hoses across gravel day in and day out to water the plants. Those hoses last a really long time. But I think for the majority of us homeowners, we're going to be comparing these 3 right here most likely to decide which one we need. This one right here is the lightest weight of all of them. This is a medium duty. We've got the heavy duty here in the center, which is a little bit stronger, a little bit sturdier. And then on this side, we've got the super duty, which is definitely the thickest and strongest. So the stronger your hose gets, it does get a little bit heavier, but it also can stand up to more gravel, concrete sidewalks, more sun if it's laying out in the sun for days, you know, or if you're the type who doesn't like to put your hoses away in the winter. We do. We always drain our hoses and put them away in the winter. That's the way you should store your hoses. But if you're not, something like this is much more likely to withstand that than your medium duty hose. So medium duty was actually my favorite hose for a lot of years. And the reason for that is it worked for my situation. We lived in a townhouse. We had a small garden. I was pulling it across grass. It worked really well for me. And a couple reasons why I liked it is lightweight. It hardly ever kinked. If it did, I could just tug on the hose and it would just unkink like that. It was so easy to use. So it just became my favorite. But then we moved into this house where we do have a lot more gravel, bricks, concrete sidewalks, and I noticed that I was going through hoses a lot more often. But in my mind, I thought if I went to a Super Duty hose, it was all of a sudden going to be this huge hose. I was equating Super Duty as a 3/4 inch diameter hose, which it's not. Like Super Duty, you can still get in 5/8 inch diameter, also in 1/2 inch diameter. So this is actually my hose of choice now. We are swapping all of our hoses. I don't think I've made it all the way around our house, but I'm pretty close. As those older hoses kind of wear out, I've been replacing them with these. The other reason why I love this one is that it's gray and it just disappears. And I know that some people like to have a brighter color hose just in case you leave it in the grass, you don't accidentally mow over it, and that is a benefit. But I love the gray because it just disappears and I don't see it in the garden. When you get a stronger hose, it is going to be a little bit more money because it's been manufactured with more materials, it's thicker and stronger and will last longer. And in this case, I do believe that you get what you pay for. But if you are the type who only needs a medium duty hose, if you live in a small city lot or you just have just a regular garden where you're pulling it across grass, this is a great hose. Save the money and get this one. But if you have more gravel, more things that your hose is going to be going over, or you need it to sit in the sun for longer, definitely consider upping the strength in your hose so that it can last longer for you. And in the long run, you'll pay less money. And the last thing I wanted to talk about are kinks. I don't think that there is such thing as a kink-free hose. I have tried out hoses that claim to be kink-free and they were not. I haven't had much of an issue with Gilmore hoses kinking. And if they do, which it's seldom, you can usually get them out either with tugging on the hose or just giving the hose a little flip and it comes right out. So I haven't had a problem with that. And now for details on the giveaway. Gilmore is giving away 5 hoses. They will be 75 feet in length, but you get to choose whether or not you would want medium duty, heavy duty, or super duty, and the diameter. So you get to choose between 1/2 inch, 5/8, and 3/4. So all you have to do to enter is leave a comment down below this video telling us which hose you would want should you be one of the winners. And make sure to enter both on YouTube and on Facebook. That way you'll have 2 entries in, 2 chances to win. It's really easy. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you guys, just kind of learning about the different options there are out there, because it's really helped me out like a tremendous amount to hone in on the hose that works the best for us here. And everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different, but I also like that this one looks a lot better in my garden. It just makes gardening a lot more pleasant when you make your chores easier to do, your watering chores. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.